black people nowhere, Dave.
I'll give you. Look, this is my other
And this
one
is
too. Are we live already?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's keep some good stuff going on. And this is another
Wait a
one.
minute, when did he press live?
This is another. Yeah, it's there. So we're gonna get some other good stuff on that. Yeah, because
try to ignore that. Did you strike
ignore
that jury?
No, the jury. I want
were
you
singing
in.
Ready or Not
we're changing
after 7.
We're changing all this stuff, and then my other guy is one of my.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I introduce my show first before you start talking, Mr. Barr? We know you're a celebrity.
No, not anymore. I'm just a felon. Go ahead and introduce your show, young lady.
On Conversations with Akisha, y'all don't know what's going to pop up. Did our producer Dave, shout out to Dave. Dave, did you put us on Rated?
Yeah.
We're Rated R. We're just a kids show. I just want to remind everybody of that. Yeah. And don't make sure your parent protect your kids' tablets, okay? If you don't know how to do it, then you ask somebody to do it because your kids can get through around you if you are technologically illiterate parents, okay? But that's a whole nother subject for another day. Today, welcome to Conversations with Akisha. We try to do this on Tuesday, right? And my producer Dave says, yes, Akisha, Tuesdays at 10 o'clock works perfect for me, okay? Besides that, we're going to get into, the real reason why we're late today, because we promised y'all 10 o'clock. What time is it now, Dave? 11.
11.
Oh, God, it's 11:03.
Is it Wednesday already?
Okay, yeah. So we're working on that, y'all. We're working out the kinks. What do they call it? We're ironing out the kinks, and we were going to work it out. Thank you so much. We value your time, Mr. Barr. And today's guest, oh, my God, y'all. You see the headline.
Could you introduce me as a former elected official of the City of Bridgeport Democratic Town Committee?
The former elected official of the City of Bridgeport Democratic Town Committee.
138th District.
138th District. The incomparable, the controversial.
Dad, do all that good stuff.
Okay, the infamous Mr. Tony Barr is with us today, y'all. Please.
Yeah. And
Mr. Barr, you are very controversial in the community, okay? And you say, partly because you're a very outspoken person and you don't take any jack from anybody, okay? And people don't like that. People don't like people who are outspoken in the community, and that's when they deem you the underdog. Is that still the case, Mr. Barr, or is everything that every time you've been in trouble been because of your own fault? Which one is it?
Okay, it's a combination of both. But at the end of the day, let's. I just want us to be honest. I want the people of the City of Bridgeport to start being honest and with themselves, because I'll say a few things. And Keisha, thank you for allowing me to come, and hopefully you can keep me consistently on the show. And Dave, kudos to Dave as well.
Absolutely.
But the most important thing is that we start looking at reality, what's taking place or what's going on in the City of Bridgeport. And there's a lot going on that doesn't include people of color. And
specifically what?
The police department, fire department, all public safety opportunities are not given to the people of the City of Bridgeport, which is 85% of color. They do not get an opportunity to represent the law enforcement and all the other public safety.
How though? Give me more specifics. How are the minorities not represented? Like, is it testing? Are there other ways?
We're gonna get to the soul of it. The soul of it since 1836, Bridgeport has been a city, and in the City of Bridgeport, the minorities are the people of color. And since 1836, we've never had a mayor of color to lead a population of 85% of color. We've always decided that, and quote unquote, no disrespect, but you can take it however you want to, that we believe that there's not a black or a brown person worthy of being our leader. And that's a travesty to the people, to your kids, to the school system. This is a trickle-down effect that it takes place on it, that through the police department, the fire department, all the public safety, our school system, then job opportunities. Everyone that works here, that's the big wigs, don't even live in the City of Bridgeport. They're from other surrounding towns and cities.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that when I did a little bit of research of how many people who are employed by the City of Bridgeport that actually do not live in the City of Bridgeport. Very interesting.
So we just have to look at, so this has been a practice that we've allowed. In other words, if you can have a population number that's been that population number in the city of Bridgeport since 1836, and all we can get out of it in return is that we have to make sure that our leader does not look like us or do not look like us, and that comes from through education. You can educate people. I went to all private and parochial schools, and I spent a year at Eastside Middle School through sports, and I was given opportunities to go on to back into the private school system, and I had an opportunity to go to the University of Texas El Paso. I screwed that up. Then to Sacred Heart University, but my mind wasn't right, and I didn't see the value of sports, or I saw the value in selling drugs at that time as a youngster, and I failed. But today I'm a winner. God made me a winner. I spent 21 and a half years in federal penitentiary, and I was educated in federal prison for the betterment and the people. And I'm laughing because look, I went to prison when I was 23 years old.
Right. And you spent how long in there?
I spent 21 and a half years in federal penitentiary. Straight.
Wow.
Right. So, but that was the best time. Listen, people say, "Oh, he's crazy." The best time of my life, because I had the opportunity to meet people from everywhere in the world, from Russia, Egypt, the Sudan, Jerusalem. You can go, Iran, Iraq, every Middle Eastern country, Russian countries, Australia, everywhere. And that gave me the best opportunity because I build relations from all the cartel leaders, everyone. I was in maximum security prison, and I had an opportunity. And they was like, "Well, why are you even here?" Well, my country made me out to be a bad guy. A real bad guy, and put me with the worst people. If you believe in them being the worst people, I don't believe in that. They gave me the best education, but they also told me I was with Guy Fisher, a lot of years with Guy Fisher. Donald Trump pardoned him. Yeah, he went in. Donald Trump pardoned Guy Fisher, and Guy Fisher welcomed home. Beautiful brother. He was the owner of the Apollo Theater, the first black owner of the Apollo Theater, and he was freed by Donald Trump.
I was interested to see the list of pardons, but what I want to ask you specifically though is that what you're saying, that the different people, cultures of people that you met in prison, absolutely. That is kind of tying back to a corrections class that I took when I was at Sacred Heart. That's my alma mater. Okay. I graduated in 2019, and so we talked about how the statistics say that the statistics say actually that people of color are not, the prison population is not as high. And the reason why is because the way that they call a person of color, like when you talked about Israel, Russia, Asia, all of those people are considered white under federal. I'm saying the whole entire umbrella. So I think that it's really interesting to not only know that the data is there because I took the class and I saw the data, but for you to tell me that while I was there, these are the type of people that I saw while I was there. So that breaks that, stereotype of, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of black people in prison that don't belong there. That's another subject. Right. But at least it's kind of making it real for me, Well, I'll also say this, and I had an opportunity. And what did you do time for? That was my second question.
I was convicted for drug trafficking.
Okay.
I
see.
And had no issues with that. You caught me. We did the time. Okay, fine. We back.
And was that, when they talk about the laws, the crack laws?
Right. It was part of that. They gave me I'll just make it crystal clear. The charge that I was convicted for only carried roughly 7 years. Okay. With the crack laws and so forth, for drug laws that was enhanced by the Bush administration, Reagan administration. So they gave me an extra 15 and a half years on that
as a result of those laws.
Right, as a result.
And we know that Clinton signed it, I believe. Biden, Bill Biden, at the time, I'm saying Biden did.
Biden,
right?
Bill Clinton
supported it.
All of them supported it.
Yeah.
They keep. You know what black people said? Oh no, they always say, "Oh, Bill Clinton was the best president. Bill Clinton was the first black president." Bill Clinton is a racist. Hillary Clinton is a racist. Let's face reality. Look at what they stand for. Hillary Clinton made it crystal clear that black babies are predators. Period. So we are
that did come out of her mouth, so that's not a lie.
So I'm not going to come here and say anything that's not factual. Bill Clinton created the worst. Bill Clinton, under the Bill Clinton administration, more black and brown people were incarcerated by that administration under the Democratic title.
And there's a meme around Facebook saying that the Reagans were the original crack kingpins. They were the ones that were actually responsible for bringing the drugs inside the country. Them and the CIA. That's what the rumor is.
Right. And a good friend of mine that I had opportunity, Harry O out of California with that CIA stuff. I had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Harry O. Harry O was a big dude.
My producer knows Harry O too.
Yeah, Harry O was a good brother. I had an opportunity to spend time with a young man that was killed, good friend of mine. God rest his soul. He'll continue to rest in peace. Mac Dre, the rapper out of Cali. I did 5 years out there and had an opportunity to meet all the Crips and Bloods and all the different GDs.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. So you spent 5 years in prison out in California. I thought you did like the whole 21 years straight.
I did the whole 21.
And then you spent more time?
No. I did 21 straight. And what I'm saying to you, I spent time in California.
Oh, you lived there. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
I resided in California while I was and Mac Dre was when they do the stories about Tupac and Biggie and Smalls, Mac Dre is the next young man that they include in that. He was killed in Kansas City.
Do you ever think they'll find Tupac and Biggie's killer?
No.
Okay, just a question.
No, the reason I say that it's the reason I'm saying that because it's law enforcement played a major part in that.
I believe that. A lot of people believe that.
Yeah, but I'm not just saying that. I'm saying what I know as factual stuff to my friends, and that's friends.
Yeah.
I met Tupac in 1993 in Lompoc, California. He came in and did a concert. Back then they allowed groups to come in for entertainment purposes, and Tupac.
That's neat. I would have been like,
no. So let me
get her out of here.
Can I just say security? And then let's get to the topic. Our real topic.
Let's get to our real topic.
No. After I finish this Tupac story.
Okay.
So Tupac, Matula Shakur, who was his stepfather, dear friend of mine, and
no kidding.
Dear friend.
Oh, that's so dope.
And Tupac, and he was instrumental in getting Tupac to come to give this concert. Mm-hmm. And Tupac. I'm laughing. I'll never forget it. And God rest Tupac's soul, because Tupac was a old spirit, true spirit.
He seemed like it.
Beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
So he came in, and I was part of the security team to his stepfather, which is Matula Shakur.
Shout out to DJ Vivacious. I just like to say hi to people tuning in.
Okay. So Tupac, and so he's allowed to come in to give a concert. And this is when he was with Digital Underground.
Oh yeah, okay. I get around.
Yeah, right. All that stuff, the Humpty dance and all that good stuff, like right? That. And Shock G.
Shock G.
Yeah. So Tupac so with Tupac, I'm sitting here with you. It's myself, Matula Shakur, Mac Dre, the romper room. That's what they call the romper room kids out of up north in Cali.
Wow.
Kilo's the brains and good young man.
Do you keep in touch with any of those people?
Oh, absolutely. Now? They're all in contact with
all right.
But
today's topic though?
No, let's finish this. I'm finish this. So
we're gonna finish Tupac.
They have to finish this because this is real. Because Tupac was a real person.
Yes,
so when Tupac come in, they allow him in. It's packed out. The auditorium is completely packed.
Of course.
So Tupac gets on the stage and he said, "Look at you guys. said, look at you. I'm up in here now. They wasn't going to let me in here. He said, look how many of you guys and look how many of them. Tupac caused almost a riot. They banned Tupac from Africa.
Probably didn't happen. There's just one place.
Right.
Yeah.
No, let's get to our topic. But they banned Tupac.
All right. Well, thank you, Tony, for the Tupac story. Anybody else out there who knew Tupac and got Tupac stories, we're going to come over here and all talk about Tupac stories. I'm hating right now. I wish I would have just been able to be in the same room with him.
But Tula Shakur was going, Pop! 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 Say, stop. Basically tell him to stop saying what he's saying because he's excited. He's going, Pop! Pop!
That's one thing about Tupac. He sure wasn't shy about anything. He wasn't afraid of anybody. Love him. So today, though, we are talking about police accountability in the city of Bridgeport. I don't know, Tony. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'm just going to start with the reality and try to put some true understanding and on opportunities that are not even given to us. The accountability in the police department in the city of Bridgeport will be, and I saw this and I read this the other day on what the accountability of who win Grammys. They pick and choose who wins these Grammys.
Excuse me.
We have artists that so on the list for a year in the top 10 and didn't get because of their skin.
Yeah, I always wondered how they measured that with the Grammys. Like, what kind of, we have to talk about that one show. What goes into that? You know,
we get ready to talk about it right now. It's the same. It's the same as how police officers are selected for the city of Bridgeport.
Okay, so this is all relevant.
It's all relevant.
All right.
So, in other words, in the city of Bridgeport, 85% of the population is people of color. And our police department make up 95% of European descent. That's called a system. Systemic racism, you can call it that, but it's a system that works for them. And in order for their system to work, they also have to have the masses of the people in our city of elected or of the clergy to agree with those things. Okay. In other words, they sell us with, we can't get a job in the police department of color on the mass level that make up our population. But our clergy can give us heaven when we die. And God did not give the clergy that right to say that and this is what when your faith is what it is, weak and wrong, then you don't see right. I want you to clearly understand what I'm saying. I'm not here saying that all churches or any particular clergy or religion is wrong. What I'm saying is in our communities, wrong has been given to us by our people. Our church leaders are in cahoots with the established devils. You cannot hang out with the devil every day and expect to get God's kingdom when you pass.
That is true.
And God calls that accountability. The same way we want accountability in what's taking place in our communities. Well, let's take that same approach in terms of in our faith basis. If you follow true religion, and I'm not saying that I'm just saying what the truth is. If you can't handle the truth, what's a few good men? You can't handle the truth. Okay, most of us don't want to handle the truth. We would rather live in falsehood and false belief and expect to get good results out of that. It's not going to happen.
So how do we change it? How do we begin to change the dynamic of that kind of thing that obviously is a culture and it's been like that and like kind of threaded in and woven in over all of these years? How does a group of people, if they decided this is wrong, we want to change it, what's the first step that they would take? Because this part of the show is informing the Bridgeport residents about
how do we
what they can do.
This is what we can do as a community, and this will be the biggest step that we can take is that if you believe in God and you truly believe in him, and if your bishop and your pastor, your cardinal, whatever faith base is telling you something that's not true, and you say, this is what our community says, but he's still our pastor, he's still our bishop, and don't you do this. No. I'll give you the best example. I'm a Muslim. I was raised as a Christian. But this is what God says as a Muslim believer. He says, as long as in the Holy Quran, he says, as long as you are allowed to pray, allowed to make your 5 salats a day, then he will remove leadership that's evil. So I'm going to give you the examples that you should understand. Saddam Hussein of Iraq.
That's the one that they
was a tyrant.
They hung him, right? He got executed by hanging.
Saddam Hussein was in power, put in power by the United States of America, and then went against the United States, and he became a tyrant too. But he also allowed his people as Muslims to pray, make the 5 daily prayers. And God says in the Quran that as long as you allow those things to be obedient to him, he will remove the evil leader.
Okay, so we get that part. But physically, what can people do? Can they, should they be showing up more to, the city hearings? And they have them online now, I think, right? The city of Bridgeport. I mean, okay. What's tangible, Tony, that people can say, I can help?
This is tangible. If you can open the schools, allow the kids to go back under the conditions of this pandemic, but you will not let the people come to a hearing.
You know what? That's true.
Isn't that crazy?
Dave, he's right. Yeah. He's right. If you're going to shut down City Hall and not allow people in there because you're scared, you're so scared that a city resident or anybody for that matter will walk into City Hall and bring COVID, why would you open up the school system to the most vulnerable people in our city besides the elderly and the disabled?
And will not open it up to the public to come in and voice their opinions on you rather go online talking about safety purposes and so forth and so on. And that's not true.
Wow.
That this is the implementation of why the schools are open is for large sums of millions and millions of dollars that's going to be divided to the leadership to superintendent, to the mayor's office and those things. They don't give a damn about your kids or you.
Once again, the opinions of this show are not necessarily opinions of UDR Productions or Conversations with Akisha. Because somebody Tony been on my show before when I used to, interviewed him before, and then somebody came on talking about I'm gonna sue Tony and I'm gonna sue your show, and I was like, hey sister, if you want to come on and get this little $180.18 in my checking account, girl, I will write the check out for you.
If we're gonna be sued, I'll write the check. They say what I do for a living, I do whatever I want.
I'm working on this bad credit, but let me tell you, I will be eligible for a public defender.
No. We'll get you the best attorneys. We don't have to ever worry about that.
It's not funny. You're supposed to take care of your legal, and you know what, Dave? We're going to continue to make sure that we are legally covered through these shows, because I'm going to tell y'all, we're not on here to be putting people up here to think that they're going to be covering their mouths. They're going to be opening their mouth and they're going to be giving us the raw deal, just like Tony Barr is here. So we have to make sure that we are legally covered.
We could be legal. If they want to put you in jail, say Tony Barr come and say, Your Honor,
Tony, you're racist.
No, I keep people.
That's his opinion.
So let's go to factual stuff now. These are factual stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. We want to talk about the police department. Let's get to the meat and bones of that.
Let's do that.
So for a practice that we've had a system that has omitted people of color for years, generations. In fact, I passed the test for the fire department in 1984. 84, 85, and never received a call because of my skin color. They didn't even respect that I was.
Oh, so you passed the fire test?
I passed,
and they didn't call you to tell you that you passed. Is that what you're saying?
No. They recognized it.
Yeah.
They recognized it in 85 with myself and another Notre Dame kid, Mark Gaines. We passed the test. And we were so excited as, hey, man, we're going to be firefighters and so forth and so on.
Okay.
And never received nothing. Never received, hey, your next step is this, that, nothing. Right? Now, I have a lot of friends that went to school with me that are white kids that are on the fire department to this day.
But wait a minute. If you pass, that automatically means that you get placed in a job right then and there if you pass the test?
No. What it means is that you pass the test. Now it goes to this systemic racism committee that doesn't have.
Okay, so it goes to a committee.
Right. Leadership.
Okay, and then.
Oh, Tony is black. Mark is black. Oh.
So then they can just kick them out at that point. No. The applications, I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
They pretend like we're on a waiting list and we're next.
Gotcha. I'm very familiar with that as a person of color.
Which is all bullshit.
Yeah.
So now, taking the police department, I'm going to go right back to them. They practice that same. In other words, they give the answers. This is what the chief of police, AJ Perez, was arrested and charged. Along with the civic,
David Dunn, right?
David Dunn was for this. They actually got caught. In other words, I want to be crystal clear. AJ Perez wasn't even smart enough to even understand how to fill out the answers. So they had other officers within their circle. So okay, we're gonna let these guys fill out your paperwork to make you the chief of police, right? Now,
I had a couple of people tell me that. It said, Akisha, you never noticed that? AJ Perez is not the sharpest knife in the
No, but
and I was like, excuse me? She was like, yeah, he's not the sharpest. There's a couple of people no, I'm not trying to be funny. They said it to me. They're like, you never ever had watched him talk during the interview? You never had a conversation with that guy? I said, no, that dude is the chief of police. He is.
Right. So
I was like, oh.
But what I will say to his defense, I know him very well as a young kid, a kid.
Because I heard nothing but nice stuff about him.
He's a good human being. I will say that. Yeah. But we're talking about reality. The reality.
Yeah, they talk about being chief of police. That's a different thing. And, somebody is a nice person, and and all that. I get that, but that's separate from can you do the job? I just served on a CEO search committee for a community college. The community colleges are consolidating here in the state of Connecticut. Right. And they wanted an alumni representative from one of the community colleges to sit on the committee and basically help hire the next person. So, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It's
hard.
It's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, the chief of police, I just want you to think, my next goal is this, and I'm going to get this. The chief of police was never qualified to be the chief of police.
That was the bottom line. And everybody, I think, agrees with that across the board, guys, from what I've been reading. Everybody says no. He wasn't supposed to be there to begin with in the first place.
But the mayor of the city, Joe Ganim, that was his main man.
Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot to remind Mr. Barr to silence his phone while he's in an interview with Conversations with Akisha.
Dave,
I'm sorry,
I just
Dave.
Turn it off.
I hear some notifications going off over here too, and you know what? I don't like it. Can you please silence your phone too?
I turned it off. It was the senator calling.
Okay,
so I apologize.
Yeah, and maybe turn that down, Senator. I'm sorry, he's live right now. Just give him a couple more minutes. So, all right, unless somebody's dying in your office, Senator, Tony Barr's mine for just a few more minutes.
So,
all right.
What else I would like to say in regards to making sure that people clearly understand? I'm not here,
yes, sir,
attacking the chief of police.
No, me either. We just
what I'm saying to the people of the city of Bridgeport, we've allowed this for generations, decades, that they instill a law enforcement that look like neo-Nazis in a black and brown community that make up 85% of the population. I can't take the best 100 officers and go in Fairfield, Westport, Southport, and Trumbull, and Shelton, and Easton, and all the surrounding European communities. They will not allow that. They'll say, you're not going to bring these people in our community and shoot our kids.
Part of the new Connecticut Police Accountability Bill, though, says that within that they are supposed to be by law making more efforts to recruit minority officers.
Okay, listen. Stop all that. Let me just keep it going here. So let me just give it to you. So the point that I'm making, because if that was true, it's okay for white officers to be white in their community because it's called community. Never call community policing in my community when the people are not from the damn community. They're from outside the community. Call them military police and how you do it overseas. Don't call it. But
isn't that a good thing that they're putting that in the bill that they're going to?
No, it's not. That's just language in there. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
Oh, so you don't think they're going to?
They're not going to implement none of that stuff. If that was the case, they would have been done that. So when you get
hello, Leslie Santiago.
You get all these senseless killings in our communities. You get all this. In other words, here's the difference. I'm gonna be short on this. Here's the difference. I'm a white guy. I live in Fairfield. I grew up and went to all the schools in Fairfield. The police officers in that community, they know who I am because I'm from their community. We all white guys.
Okay.
I beat my wife's ass, and they come to the house. And who comes to the house? A kid that I went to school with. He said, "Come on, Tony."
He probably played with him on a football team and everything.
This, come on, man.
Got drunk, teenage, underage drinking at his house and everything.
Listen, Tony. Look. I'm not going to arrest you. I'm not going to hurt your family.
Right. It happens.
Come on.
Yes.
Take a ride with me.
It's been happening.
I'm going to drop your ass off at the park. You stay there for the next 5 hours. If you go back to that house, then I have to do my job. But as a community, as a high school buddy, as a friend, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Here's the difference. A white ass officer in my community come to my house. I don't beat my wife ass. First, he might come there and kill me. He might. Because he says he felt threatened. Mm-hmm. He didn't like the language how I spoke to him.
That happens.
Why can't it be an officer that looked just like me, that grew up in my community, that knows? He said, "Look, man, come on, man. Come on. Brother, you know I'm your man. I'm not trying to cover up no crime or none of that shit. I don't know what happened. You come with me. I'm going to drop your ass off at that same park that the white guy dropped his ass. Mm-hmm. You better not go back to that damn house. Mm-hmm. If you go back to that house while I'm still working today, and I was called out there, I'm gonna come arrest your ass. You probably lose your job. You don't need to lose your job because you have a home. The burden should not fall on your wife by herself to try to pay the bills now.
It's a snowball effect.
It's a snowball effect, and that's all we've ever got. A snowball is what? What color is the snowball?
White.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
What? Snow is white. I love snow.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying. Yeah, we're supposed to love snowball. The snowball effect is a white ball effect through law enforcement in our communities. And again, back to the chief of police.
Do you think a black officer? Do you think black officers? I mean, let's just flip it. You think that black officers give black people that they've gone to school with a break? I mean, I want to be fair to people who might be asking that question.
Okay, so there's no fairness. So let's stop what's fair. What's fair is this. A black officer would love to do what I just said. But if he's the minority in the community that's 85% that look just like him, and he knows that the call came, and he knows that everyone that called, made that call to him, do not look like him, he's going to come there and say, "Look, man, I want to do this, but you know what it is. I can't do this because I have to make sure that I don't lose my damn job." They hold jobs over people's heads of color in these law enforcement departments across the country. And David Dunn, the personnel director, made it crystal clear. He said that the mayor of the city of Bridgeport, Joe Ganim, said make sure that he finished in the top 3. So if he finishes in the top 3, which they made sure that he did finish in the top 3, then the mayor has the authority to pick from 1 to 3.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Yeah, in Bridgeport, the authority of our council has given the mayor the authority to do anything and everything that he wants to. Which is and then this is what makes it so hard for us.
So the mayor has a lot of power.
No, he's not supposed to have that power.
Yeah, because in the city charter they said they can't even change the city charter without the mayor approving for them to change the city charter.
Because they gave him the authority to be in that position. You understand what I'm saying?
How do they take it away though, Tony?
The same way they voted out.
They got to vote, or they have to vote him out.
Vote his established power that was given by the council. The 20 council member gave the mayor this extra power that he's not supposed to have.
Gotcha.
So in order for them to change it, this is where change come in, that we put new people because they have ties with all the people and that's on the council. So you look at if they can think about it like this. They had a vote to give $4.5 million for the amphitheater. Right? Not one white person voted for it to give the money. All people of color voted for it.
Why do you think that is?
The whites didn't vote for it because they make sure the FBI don't come in and put their asses in handcuffs.
What do you mean by that?
Because what they did was illegal. They had a contractual agreement with how this was supposed to be done. Mm-hmm. It went outside the extra $5 million. Say the city of Bridgeport say, look, we'll give you $15 million. You put in 15, which let's just say 30 million, right?
Okay.
Anything outside of that, it has to come from the contractor that's in charge. So this is what they did. Contractor signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm yours. Signed. Sealed, delivered. I'm yours. So this is already signed and sealed. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now they come back. In order for them to change it, it has to go back in front of the council. Okay. So instead of the council saying, look, we have a signed, sealed, delivered contractual agreement. Mm-hmm. They put it back to the vote and voted to give an extra $4.5 million of the taxpayers' money.
For the theater.
So this is the type of corruption stuff that goes on in the city of Bridgeport.
Do you think it's ever going to change?
Yeah.
Do you think the climate here is ever going to change? Ever? It's been so many years.
Well, it's not.
And if it does change, doesn't all of the finances, everything just start all over again, just dismantle everything and just start all over again?
You have to look at reality. Let's go back to reality. In order to start to fix this thing, we have Tong, who's the Attorney General, State Attorney General.
Tong.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, if Tong was doing his job, if he was doing what he's supposed to do by the people of the city of Bridgeport, by the taxpayers of the city of Bridgeport, then he would take AJ Perez's pension, David Dunn's pension, and every other police officer that was involved with helping him, take their pensions away from them and fire each and every one of them. This would show that, in other words, I have to truly believe this in my heart of hearts and for the people of the city of Bridgeport, that if we were trying to do right by the people of the city of Bridgeport, then the FBI would have been stepped in and arrest everyone that's involved with this. But this is what they will do. This is what the FBI's will do. They'll come in and snatch up 100 black and brown kids. So they had an investigation. They're the worst people on the face of the earth. They're trying to survive. They don't have no jobs, can't get no jobs in Bridgeport because the mayor's office gives them to all the white folks and everything and trickle down. All the summer jobs and stuff, you go to these things, you see maybe one or two black or brown, but the majority of the people from out of town working in our communities, like our kids do not even have deserve an opportunity to work. So then I've
never actually sat in a room with all of the applicants for the summer program for the mayor. So you're saying that every hire, like let's say if we were in a room with all the hires that they hired young people for the summer, right, that there are only maybe just a couple of those
if there's 100 kids, if there's 100 people in that room of kids, of youth, out of that youth group, they're going to hire probably 20. And the rest will be from Monroe, Shelton, Easton, Fairfield, Stratford.
And within that 20, it would still not be all black. It would be kids of color, right?
Kids of color, absolutely. So these are the things that are in place that we've allowed. And then when you talk to your NAACP leaders and stuff, nobody's doing nothing. We're worse today than we were.
I would love to have a representative of the NAACP come on. I hope that they would. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. It might be a long shot for us, but I think that it's worth asking. I don't mind asking. The worst they can say is no.
But allow me to.
But I really would. I would love for a representative. Seriously, like an executive representative to come on here.
I will ask of them to do those things because what we've truly done in the city of Bridgeport. To the people that are listening, we've truly failed. Our leadership has truly failed. You cannot have kids getting killed every day at 18, 14, 12, 25. All the way from that number. Start at 12 and then go all the way up to 30 on a consistent basis. And then we talking about we doing great things in Bridgeport. For the leadership in the city of Bridgeport, that's not true, and you know it's not true. If you would just be human beings and you keep everybody screaming how faithful they are and this and that, God says in this life, if you trust and truly believe in Him, that He'll never put a burden on you that you can't handle. He's given us His burden, and we haven't handled it. We've decided to make decisions or world decisions, personal gains decisions over our kids. We have the worst educational system in the United States in the top 5 or 3. Worst police department has to be number 1, right? Number 2 has to be no job opportunities at all for our people. And I'll say this, I had 2 beautiful jobs. Myself and Gannon, we had our differences and so forth and so on.
You had your differences is probably an understatement, Tony. But anyway,
well, okay. Here's the factual side of it. That I lost 2 beautiful paying jobs because of 2 people. Mm-hmm. The mayor, Joe Ganim, and the chief of police, AJ Perez. And they got me fired for my jobs. And that's factual stuff. And I have it in black and white in my, and the sad part about it is that in all these black and brown people with all these, elected official people, not one of them could ever help me get a job. And I haven't had a job since 2015. And they said, what you do for a living? When you favored and God trust and believe you, because He know that you're doing what He say do, He will make sure that you can always provide. I make more money by accident than most people make on purpose.
Well, I know that's right.
Through the grace of God.
We need to get some courses over here. Tony can teach us
through the grace of God
how to grow money trees in our backyard too.
How to make it work.
I know that's right.
Through the grace of God.
Thank you for your question. I know. What do we got? Leslie Santiago. Is she still here? Oh yeah, and there's another person that came in. Hi, Leslie. I just want to make sure that we acknowledge our viewers because this is the this is how we get recognized here. So Leslie says they both are deep on point. All right. Leslie agrees with everything so far. All right. So comment if you want. Share. Click like and share, guys.
Yeah, help the show
people
out.
Yeah, we need more people liking.
The people that are listening, this is our second show. But this is gonna be a great show because one thing I'm not gonna ever do when I'm on here, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna cover for friends that are in position that ain't done a damn thing since they've been there, but they can always do. Listen to what they're doing now. Listen, I'm gonna say this to you as well. The topic is I'm asking the State Attorney General Tom to take the pensions away from AJ Perez, David Dunn, and all the other police officers. Aren't
they working on that though, Tony?
No, they working on it and doing is 2 different things.
Well, yeah. But how do we catch up with how that's going on? Like,
let me just do it this too. I'm sorry too. Let me just say this because I want people to clearly understand. I'm gonna go in a couple of different directions and go back to the point, and it should make sense, I believe. Okay. You take Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino is a basketball coach. Rick Pitino used to coach the Knicks, the Celtics, Louisville, all these prestige schools. Rick Pitino was one of the biggest cheaters. Right? Cheated in every way, broke every damn rule that you can break to win. And he's making all these millions of dollars.
Wow.
Right? So he gets caught again. So he gets fired buy out of his contract, buy the school. Now he signs with another school, a small school, right? They're going to allow them to be in the NAACP tournament, the team that he's coaching. You had teams, one team won 26 games, but they didn't get in the tournament. They thought enough of Rick Pitino. This is how the systemic racism system works. So look, put his team in, okay? He's redemption. Only people get redemption in life is white folks. Blacks don't get that. People of color do not get redemption. And our people the first to forgive them and say all this bullshit about why you forgiving them, but you can't even forgive your own. A fool would that makes you a fool.
He's right. So
Rick Pitino, this is no different than he did all this ugliness at all these schools to win, making money, buy him out. He doesn't need a job. He's just a part of the system. So what would be the difference? There's no difference between a church, Catholic church, molesting these kids. They get the same damn reward that Rick Pitino gets. That, hey, look, you did all the dirt that you did, or any church for that matter, molesting these kids, and you know what they do? They transfer them. To another church. Mm-hmm. No different than Rick Pitino.
And they did that for years. They said they was transferring them. They was finding out that they was molesting kids, and instead of like calling the police or calling DCF, you're gonna transfer that priest to another church so they could go and do the same thing to them again, and then he gets transferred again, and then how many priests did that happen with?
So this is the point I'm making.
That's so disgusting.
We get that, and I'm not here to condemn the church. I'm condemning wrong.
Right, exactly.
If that's condemning the church and that's condemning the sports, then I'm condemning wrong.
That's right.
So here's so we have him. He gets another job. He gets awarded, and they'll make a big thing. Pitino brings his record-breaking team into the tournament.
His record-breaking team that he done taught how to cheat.
He done cheated all his life, right? Now, you take those two scenarios on how we try to improve. Where we going? It's all the same game. Systemic racism. Whites get the opportunity to continue to do this. Take Kevin Ollie, black guy, coach UConn. He was fired, saying he broke the system. He's suing them. Probably win a few dollars. End of the day, it'll be the hardest thing in the world for him to do is ever get a job as a coach.
That's right, because that money that he gonna get, they ain't gonna be able to take care of him until he dies.
Hardest thing in the world for him to get another job.
And he can't eat. And he can't eat on top of that.
Right. And he married a young lady from Bridgeport, Connecticut. So, and I'm not saying that to make a difference, but I'm just showing you.
Well, at least he has a good woman by his side. Okay. I'm just saying, Bridgeport, Connecticut ladies.
So
with a bomb.
Rick Pitino's rewarded. The priests are rewarded. Mm-hmm. And if this was a person of color, he's a disgrace. What's the difference between a cheating ass basketball coach and a child molester on the highest level? Because you're not paying these kids. That you're making all this money off these exploiting these kids, black and brown kids. Mm-hmm. One coach the other day, he was suspended. He said to the kids in a huddle on a timeout. He called a timeout and he told the kids, "Listen." And he coached Creighton University. He said, "Listen, we're on the plantation. Now we all know that there's more African Americans in basketball than any other sport, or in football." He said, "We're on the plantation. I don't need you guys to run off the plantation. We need you to stay on the plantation."
Exactly.
So he's saying, look, you slaves. This is what you are. Mm-hmm. We're a slave system. Mm-hmm. We're slaves through religion, and we love being slaves.
And I want to come back and have another conversation with you on religion, because I think it's so interesting, really, how, we have been raised through this book. I mean, people who were raised Baptist and Christian like myself, we were raised
as well
through this Bible. This is the Bible. This is the end all that be all. You follow all these rules in this book from front to cover. You are going to go straight to heaven, have an express ticket. All right. But this is also the same item that, kept Black people in check, because like they said, there were so many more slaves than there were slave masters. And so that's how you know that people were under mind control. There's no other way you could do it. Hitler is another example. Awful person, horrible person. But, to control the minds of the masses. And that's why we said that at the last one, Dave, about TV, and stop believing everything that you see on TV. Do your own research,
right?
Especially when it comes to your local community. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, now I think I'm not sure how much time we have left, but
just a couple more minutes. We're going to wrap up in about 9 more minutes.
Here's another example of how Bridgeport works. Okay, you will take down the Columbus statue, which is rightfully should be taken down, right? Everywhere. Okay. But then you take, we have a school in Bridgeport. It's called Warren Harding High School. Warren Harding was a president of the United States of America. Warren Harding was worse than Donald Trump.
Was he?
Absolutely. You can go do your research.
I feel so uneducated right now. When we leave, I'm going to research Warren Harding. And I swear I didn't know. I didn't know about him.
So look what took place here. So now I'm giving you to you. Anything that I say is true. I get the people. This is lack of education.
Tony, why haven't they moved to change the name of the high school?
Well, this is what I'm going to get to it. So we pushed to change the name. We changed. Look what we wanted to change the name to.
What?
We said, listen, because we gave them the facts. They know the facts. Everybody know the facts that Warren Harding, the former president, was worse than Donald Trump to Black and brown people. Okay, so we say, look, let's change it. Let's make some sense. Let's change it to, who was going to change it to?
What?
Barack Obama, to inspire the next generation of young people that I'm in my mid 50s, a middle-aged guy, and this is not my generation that's coming up. We say, hey, let's change this bum Warren Harding, who's a racist, a sexist, anything that you can think of. Let's give
Barack Obama.
And you know what? Our people that look just like me. Oh no! That's my school. The colors. What about the damn next generation that they have no ties to Warren Harding?
Right.
What about them? They know who Barack Obama is, a Black man, first president of the United States of color, and that you don't even respect him enough to talk about changing the school. And this was led by Maria Pereira and Maria Pereira's again. And it's factual stuff.
Okay.
Everything I say is factual. I'm not.
So what is the end result, Tony? Is it dead in the water, or can somebody bring it up again?
Well, we're gonna see if we can bring it up. It can always be brought up.
No, we gotta fight that or something.
This is the ignorancy of our people in the city of Bridgeport, and then we keep claiming we educated, we're just smart people, and this and that. Tony Barr is the worst person in the world. Tony Barr.
They say Tony Barr is crazy. They say Tony Barr is mentally ill.
Look at me.
They say Tony Barr has a substance abuse problem, alcoholism. Listen, what do you say to that?
I'm just gonna say this to the people of the city of Bridgeport and everywhere in the world that's listening to this. Tony Barr spent 21 and a half years in federal penitentiary. Tony Barr came out of prison and say, okay, I see that the mayor, Joe Gann, who went to prison for stealing everything from the people of the city of Bridgeport, is going to run, and we have the same identical background from schools in education. And I said, well, I'm gonna run for mayor. And you know what my people said? Man, you crazy. How you gonna come out of prison after all them years and run for mayor? Okay, the guy Gannon went to prison for stealing from everybody, and he come back and say he's gonna run. And look what bring him to the old black ass churches. Oh, Joe should be forgiven. Joe deserves a second chance. And a black and a brown person ain't never been given no chance. Nothing. And we put that, and I say to the black church leaders and the Latinos and brown people, and say, because they're the ones that make sure that. I said, so they said, Mr. Barr, we have to go with him. You're a believer in God, but you have to go with the devil over truth. Okay, fine. I have no problem with that. So if they say Tony Barr is a drug addict, Tony Barr does not use drugs on no level. Well, Tony Barr drinking is legal. So I will have a drink.
It's legal.
Okay, it's legal. So anything outside of that, about where I stand and this and that.
Well, drinking is legal, but drinking and driving is not legal.
Right. Okay. And we'll cover that.
We'll talk about that next time. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
We'll cover that. And that was
some of our viewers, Dave. They'll try to.
No, they can say what they want. I will say this in Indian on this.
We're just gonna let y'all know.
I live just outside of Newtown in Monroe.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I just sold a house too.
That's nice. I drive through that way to go to the Danbury Mall.
Right, 111 and 110 and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's no lights out there. The officers there don't look like Tony Barr. Okay, and they harassed myself over the past years.
It's in public record. Actually, they could just read about it, right, Tony?
Absolutely. And pulled my wife over numerous times and stuff, but she never would tell me until she got home. Because my wife would have ever called me and said, "Baby, I'm here scared. These officers." I got in my damn car, went to where she was at, and confront the officers. And I'll say this to you: it
wouldn't have been cute.
It wouldn't have been cute at all. Because I ain't afraid of no damn white police officer or no officer. Period.
Is this because you're one of the only black people that own a house there in that area?
Beautiful people on my street. Our houses, my house to the next house is a 3-4 minute walk. We don't live up on each other. But you're not going to continue to bother my wife and bother me.
Wow.
Because if my wife would have ever told me that she was being detained by the police, I'd have showed up on the damn scene. You know what would have happened? Whatever.
I don't want to think about
whatever.
I don't want to think about that.
We ain't doing that shit. I ain't George Floyd. I ain't going to be Trayvon Martin. I ain't going to be none of that shit. And that's what I tell black and brown people. If you feel threatened by officers that do not look like you or look like you, do what you need to do to protect yourself. Because they out here, we're freelancing. They're freelancing, shooting and killing us. And here we go. We want to march and do all that shit. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm going to give you what you gave me. That's it.
Yes. So everybody, in other words, Tony Barr is down with the Nat Turner style type.
Yeah, I'm down with right. If that make it Nat Turner, if that make it Jesus Christ, if that make it whatever, I'm with right. We're not doing that bull.
Tony basically is saying that he's not playing that.
No.
And guess what? Tony is not the only one, right?
No,
Tony is not the only one.
Look,
there are a lot of us out here that we are ready to die for it.
We're going to die.
And because it's going to happen anyway, right?
Absolutely.
So we are. There are some really, and they call us militant. They call us dangerous, just like they did with Dr. King and Malcolm X and the Black Panthers and all that. Oh, they're dangerous for society, but no, that is not true. We're not doing those things. Defense.
But they're killing innocent
self-defense.
Kids. Killing innocent
subjective.
Kids. Killing innocent kids here in Bridgeport. Jason Negron. All this senseless killings all over the country to finally the whole country says, you know what? No, you picking out. It's always the same scenario. White officer, black guy dead. White officer, brown guy dead. But they make up our community. I'm not going for that.
That's right.
I'm not doing that.
We're gonna continue this conversation, okay? On Conversations with Akisha. The last couple of minutes I want to take, Tony, is just by giving the parents of the young black men out here on these streets. The parents of the young black men out on these streets. We have a couple of different organizations that are taking in kids, youth constantly. We have Mr. Harry Bell, right?
Good
coloring
positive thought.
Coloring a positive thought, right? We got who else? Gary Nelson.
Gary Nelson
also has his swag program that just opened up, brand new. Who's the new guy over there at the Boys and Girls Club? Rashamel Jones. Rashamel Jones. Okay,
right. Good guy. 3
names: Rashamel Jones, Gary, okay, and Harry Bell. Please reach out to those brothers. Though you can Google them. They are on social media. Anybody, especially the families of color. I mean, I know the people who have money and resources, they have enough money to send their kids to wherever they want to go. But we're talking about specifically to the people who don't have, those single parents or those parents in poverty who have both parents in the home. We're talking to you too. Please, we can't have enough positive people in these youth life. So even if your youth is doing well, right? Even if your youth is doing fine, send them out in the community with the rest of these kids, because I know that those 3 leaders that we just mentioned, they run programs that are very filled with dignity. The kids are not just sitting there on the computer and on the TV. Those guys really do put it in. They put in 100% of making sure these kids have the academics as well, especially now that we're doing this homeschooling thing, because we know that all the parents cannot help these kids. Some of you don't have the educational level to help these kids. Don't have pride. Send the kids out to somewhere like these 3 good guys in the community that can help. And, these programs are open during the day. They have distance learning equipment right there in their facility. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that is an option. And we're going to continue to talk about that. I will continue to talk about that every single week to make sure that local parents know that there are resources out there. Okay. And we got to put a phone number up or our email address up, Dave, so people can call or text if they have any questions after we stop taping.
Yeah, you should definitely put that up. And I'll say this: what she just stated about those 3 gentlemen, they're good human beings. They're good people. They're for the improvement and the betterment of our community.
Yeah.
But you saw what she did. She named 3 people. Bridgeport is the biggest city in the state of Connecticut.
We're pretty sure that there are more. They're just the 3 at the top that I could think of.
Right, and I'm agreeing with you. Mm-hmm. I'm agreeing wholeheartedly with you. This should be at the front of everything that we're trying to do in the city of Bridgeport.
Yep.
This should be at the church leaders. This should be at the community leaders. This should be at the elected officials.
Got to invest in the kids.
If your kids don't mean nothing, your community don't mean nothing.
That's right.
Is that simple?
As the Africans say, how are the children? They can judge by how the community is doing by how the children are doing.
That's exactly. And we ain't doing nothing in Bridgeport. Talk about how good Bridgeport is moving forward and this and that. That's all bull crap.
And with that, we will end. We're already a minute over. Listen, Tony Barr, thank you so much for your time. Are you going to come? You're going to come back to visit us?
I love to come back every time that you want me to come.
Yes, we want to have Tony Barr back. Dave, shout out to Dave, our producer.
Dave is
great
the guy too. Absolutely.
Dave, I already told y'all last week. Dave, he can be a hot mess at times. We could be fighting at times, but
don't put the business out there because I'm gonna do something to him after.
Dave can oversleep at times, and we don't start, until 11 instead of 10. But I can put his business out there.
And I'll say one more thing before we end too.
Yes.
We will in 2023. We will get our first of color mayor. Because the people.
Oh, that's right. 2022 is the election year, though, right?
No,
or 2023 is the election year.
2023.
The election year?
Yeah, I'm just making it crystal clear. We will get
September.
our first mayor of color since 1836. Now you ponder that. Just think.
Tony is calling it. He's saying that the next mayoral election in Bridgeport is going to be a person of color.
Yeah, Senator Dennis Bradford.
Well, I don't know. It may be a female of color, Tony,
or Marilyn Moore.
That's right. It may be a female because
I
we can
support both of those.
Just as good of a job.
I support both of those candidates.
Or it might be Tony.
And Tony Barr.
Tony?
No, Tony.
You, Tony?
No, I'm the worst.
You're running for mayor?
No, listen. No, okay. I'm the worst person in the world.
Oh, well, then we don't.
By the people.
If this man is telling you that he's the worst person in the world, we damn sure enough don't want him.
No, this is what they would say.
Oh, they would say that.
But you would vote for the worst person that's ever been the mayor of the city of Bridgeport that stole from everybody in the city of Bridgeport. His name is Joe Ganem.
Right.
And y'all and our pastors and bishops, we must forgive Joe Ganem.
Do me a favor, the city of Bridgeport, please do not.
We must forgive Joe Ganem.
Let's make a change.
And Tony Barr, you are the devil.
I'm not against anybody. I'm an independent registered voter in this city.
Yes.
And the reason why I do that is on purpose because I vote for who I think is the best person for the job. And if that happens to be a Republican, Democrat, whatever, then that's the person I'm voting for. I don't go with this party stuff, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah.
No, and let me say
We
she
need to
said,
change.
and she said about parties, and we're going to end it on this, right? She
Yes.
said about parties. I want the people.
We need a new party, Tony.
I have my party. They shot it down.
Political party.
Political party. It's the new movement party. It will be up by the next election.
What's the name of it?
The new movement party.
The new movement party.
Right, and I'm gonna say this too. So the only thing that we can do in the city of Bridgeport when we lose our loved ones is do GoFundMes.
GoFundMe.
And white folks go out and have fun. You think about that.
Yeah, that's right. There's another show. We're gonna touch on that, right, Dave?
Yeah.
We're gonna touch on advanced directives and living wills. All right, and what you're gonna leave your kids.
That's right.
We're gonna get it together, Bridgeport. Thank you so much, y'all. Next Tuesday, join us at 10 o'clock. Okay.
Sharp.
Yes. Somebody, do me a favor. Somebody, can you call Dave for me at 9:30, Tony, and make sure that he's up by 10
I
and
will
ready
do
for
that.
me? I'm picking up my producer.
Matter of fact,
I couldn't do this without you.
I'm gonna speak with some elected officials, Senator Bradley.
Yeah, gonna get my show popping.
Get it popping. United States Senator Blumenthal.
Okay.
Frank Recchia. All these people want to come and get
Frank Recchia, he is such a sweet man. Oh my God. That man is so sweet. It's almost as if he's too nice. You know, like I'm looking for something evil for him. Like he got bodies buried under his porch or something.
Wait a minute.
That's how nice he is. He's like too nice. Frank, I love you. I swear. Frank's been around. Like I remember when I was real young and Frank Recchia was around. Love it.
So we're gonna end this. Can I just say a little bit before we end it?
Last words, Tony Barr. What are they?
It never rains in Southern California.
No, we can't do that because we don't own the rights to that song.
Oh, okay.
Do you hear this beat in your ears? This is a beat that Dave made up. This is Dave's beat.
I'm sorry. I thought you was telling me to sing. Okay.
No, we can't do that.
Maybe on the East Coast.
They're gonna take
it. Never rains. Ooh.
Cut, Dave, please. You see, we can't take our people.
Maybe on the East Coast.
Oh my God.
It never rains.
Maybe go on the East Coast, on the southern side of town. It never rains. It's an hour, y'all.
God bless y'all. God bless.
Y'all. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, lady. God bless you. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. All right, and we're out of here.
Okay, so